Yeah, it's pretty nice, man. Like, you know, I told Andrea, I was like, man, Robert's been right. Like, why did I wait so long to listen? Because it's like, now I don't have, you know, I used to struggle financially, you know, in the beginning of my career. And
you did?
Yeah, I mean, the beginning, before I started doing mat work, and then now it's like a whole other ball game, you know, now that I'm getting the clients that are willing to give themselves time and work, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're what, 5 years in now?
I just hit my anniversary, yes.
Yeah, I mean, 5 years, you're seasoned now.
Seasoned.
Yeah, and then the last year, here's the thing, you're the only student, by the way. You're the only student who studied with me the way you have.
Hell yeah.
Like there is, I mean, Andrea is now, but like you kept up with me for a year, and the reason I kept working with you is because I'd get a message from you, like, hey, when are we getting together? And I'm like, oh wow, initiative. You'd be surprised how far they get you.
I just could like, you know, in the beginning I started learning Thai because I was tired of like men wanting me to destroy them with my hands and it was hurting me.
Yeah.
And I like when I received the work in the beginning, I liked it, but I didn't like love it yet. You know, it's still like I was still addicted to having glide and BS. You know, and then I started receiving it more regularly, and then I realized like it grows on you. You're like, oh man, like it's letting go of some deep shit, and it's like I'm getting much better results from that work. And so then it also put me in a position to understand how my clients feel, and I like tell them like, you know, maybe. You know, you need to receive it honestly, because then you can tell the clients what to expect. I told them, I was like, you know, sometimes my mentor gets in my neck and I just like have to take a break. I'm like, if you feel that way, let me know. You know, sometimes I'm like, oh God, Robert, can't. 1 second. Okay,
So I'm going to flip it out. I'm going to bring the knee right up into this junction again. And the feedback that you give is great, Kristen. That's the sort of stuff I'm working on with the students. And the conversation I had with Kristen recently, it was like, I train Kristen for free. I don't even charge her because I need the footage more than I need the money. I need to be able to show that a therapist can learn this stuff, use it, and make a living doing quite well.
Oh, yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
There we go. And be able to shift things. So Kristen, in a sense, represented the challenges I have in the marketplace because it's a very different concept to work on a mat. It's a very different concept to use your legs and feet. It's clothed. I think in many ways it's superior for therapists for pain relief purposes. And I think you have less issues of clients potentially being untoward because people are completely clothed. It puts you in a completely different space as far as, you know, what you're going to be marketing and selling, which I think is part of the problem I had with the guy who contacted me. I can read that to you later.
You know, to give you some feedback, because we haven't even talked about my situation that happened this past week. I think the only reason why I had an inappropriate Thai client was that whenever he reached out to me, I didn't realize that he had reached out to me the year before I'd actually started putting my stuff out. So he contacted me when he thought I was a table therapist or whatever, you know? I don't believe I'm going to have the issues I've had moving forward, especially as I continue to make footage. You know, I just don't see it happening.
Well, one, you're going to be so booked, you're not going to have time to take new clients.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then you get to select, you know, what I want, and this is what I keep telling students about, you know, target market. When I lengthen better, right there, there we go. When you said the client pays me $400 a session, he's awesome. He gives me, what is it, business advice?
No, he gives me like house advice.
House advice. Like, is he involved in real estate or something?
He built and he knows I'm building.
Yeah. And the thing is, you are basically copying everything that I did in my practice.
Yep.
It was how I got clients who basically were, you know, I work on them and they're giving me stock tips.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Like business acumen, you know. Now, I'm going to change my angle just a little bit. I felt like I was straining my back, so I leaned forward on my right arm. And what I'm doing is I'm leaning with my hip, but I'm changing the angle of pressure right there.
It's crazy.
There we go. Still good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just intense. It's tight.
Gonna slowly disengage, and just like before, I'm gonna switch it out. I'm actually gonna come in from the top. Even though previous to this, what I did again was I had my legs facing the other way. I wanna come in from this direction to be able to hook into posterior cervical spine. I'm really coming down into the cervical paraspinals. She already has her head like down and over. It's going to change the angle from doing it from the other side. How's that right? Ooh, right in there, Kristen.
That's very good.
Right there?
Yeah.
There we go.
Bomb, actually. No.
Now, a little more to the back or a little more to the front. There we go. You tell me. Right there? There we go. I'm a little bit closer to what feels like, again, scalenus medius. And again, like her scalenes are tight like mine. Those scalenes are stability muscles for the cervical spine. When she had that cervical trauma from a whiplash, like what muscles are sort of compensating for it? I have limited information about that and how it works specifically, but that's generally what I see with people.